Hey everybody, Ali Duzette here, and we are still working through our 30-day challenge of taking out the trash, where we are writing in a spiral notebook or just on anything that we want, 3 pages, front, back, front, for 30 days to clear out the backlog of our minds. And today I've been wanting to record all day long, and all I have done is run around and take care of children and do a bunch of chores. And I thought, oh man, I need to record, and also I need to fold an abundance of laundry. And so today we're going to multitask, and I thought, what better topic than laundry, which I know I've talked about before. But we can always stand to talk about it again, because laundry is one of the things that pretty much every human has always had to deal with. I mean, since Adam and Eve, right? The very first story that we have in the scriptures is basically like the origin story of laundry, right? um, but keeping our clothes clean and in order for the new day is something that all of the humans have had to deal with, even when many people throughout history have only ever had like one set of clothes. But even then, you got to keep it clean, at least so that it looks presentable, even if you don't care that much about how clean it actually is, right? We live in an interesting time where clothes are just so much cheaper and so much more ubiquitous than they've ever been before. I read this thing recently about colonial times and like how they lived their lives back then. And somebody was saying, I think it was Dolly Madison, that had 17 dresses. That's like, so she was the first lady at the time, married to James Madison, or not, no, she was the one that was not married. Anyway, I can't remember. Anyways, Dolly Madison, she, yeah, she had 17 outfits. And this writer said, this seems like it's not a lot of outfits, but in actuality, when people have done studies on what people actually wear, like our closets are full of a lot of things, but we actually only wear about 17 different items of clothes every day. And I think that's true. Like based on my own life, I'm like, yeah, I have a lot of clothes, but really, I think I wear about 17 of them regularly. But today I wanted to do a quick mini session on laundry and on the energy of doing the laundry. We had a thread about this in the Facebook group some time ago that had some really beautiful thoughts. One person talked about how she started saying a prayer in her heart every time she folded the clothing for a particular family member. So as you fold, you would just like pray over those clothes and over that person who you're folding for. And I thought that was so beautiful. Someone else also pointed out that laundry is a cycle and we're never supposed to be done with it. And it's okay that it's always in cycle. It's okay if there's something in the washer and something in the dryer and something in a pile and some stuff that's folded and not put away and some stuff that is put away and some stuff that has been worn and isn't quite in the hamper yet. Like, it's okay. It's a life cycle, right? And there's no way to actually be on top of it unless you're dead. Like that's the only escape. That is the only escape from the need to be clothed and to have clothes that are clean and appropriate for what we're doing. So let's go ahead and tune in and see what we can figure out about the laundry wound, because again, all of our ancestors have had to deal with this. We're all carrying a lot probably of laundry fatigue over the many eons that our ancestors have had to do this, and now we do it, and now we deal with a much larger scope of laundry stuff. So let's tune into that. When I tune into this, I'm already yawning. So I'm not tuning into anybody's energy in particular. And I do not do that in sessions that I do for YouTube. But just tuning into the energy of the condition in general. And then you can choose into it. Like if you choose to watch this, then you will benefit from it. And you don't have to choose into that. So, but as I tune into the energy of, doing the laundry every single day, the first thing that is coming up is actually fear, which is a little surprising to me because that's just not what I would expect to be a big emotion that comes up at this time. Fear of what? fear of never being done, fear of it never being over, the crushing weight of the demand of having to deal with this over and over again, forever. Can this clear yet? No. It feels so futile. It's a mountain of clothes that I can never come out from underneath. And I see a person like the laundress underneath the pile of clothes and feeling like squished flat, and like, how is she ever going to claw her way out of this? Like, it's never ending and it's never enough and it's always a mess. Let's tap and breathe on this. A block is coming up against us clearing it, and it's a block of anger, and it's going to stamp its foot and just rage. Like, how come this is my, like, who decided that I should be the one that does all of this? Who decided that it should be me that has to do all of this? So let's tap on that. See if you can imagine one of your ancestors like absolutely losing her mind over this, because it just feels so unfair and she just needs to like basically tantrum it out. I don't like to put it that way because I feel like that kind of trivializes the feeling. You're done with popsicles. Ah. No, you already had so much popsicles. I don't want to trivialize her anger because it is not trivial. Like calling it a tantrum, I feel like is not an appropriate way to call it, but like imagine her just like absolutely in a rage room, just smashing things with a hammer and just destroying things out of this anger that just says like, how dare this world be this way where I have to be responsible for maintaining this never-ending cycle? How come I have to how come I have to be the boss of this cycle? And it's just horrified and angry. Let's tap, tap, tap. See her whack things and smash stuff and be angry. Here comes the energy of professional laundresses from over time and how burned out they are from just doing laundry after laundry after laundry. You know, they're like, they're over it and they don't want to do it anymore. Um, let's shake out any of that generational fatigue about laundry from our bodies, releasing that, releasing that. And let's tap in. What if it could be easy and fun to stay on top of my laundry cycle? Okay. What if it could be easy and fun to stay on top of my laundry cycle? What if it could be easy and fun to stay on top of my laundry cycle? What if it could be easy and fun to stay on top of my laundry cycle? What if it could be easy and fun to stay on top of my laundry cycle? Okay, let's breathe that in. I'm seeing an image of, it looks kind of like a clock, but it's really the laundry cycle, and it's like ding, ding, ding. At noon is probably time to wear your clothes, and then you go on over and it's time to take your clothes off, put them in the hamper, then it's time to put them in the washer, time to put them in the dryer, time to fold them and time to wear them. Fold them, put them away, wear them. So we're just going to see that kind of like representation of the cycle and see that it's all cracked up and messy and just a mess. And we're going to flow light into that little symbolic clock and allow that light to heal the energy of the clock. We're going to allow the clock to reset. Resetting the clock. What if it was so easy for me to stay on top of my laundry? And okay, shaking it out, shaking it out. One thing coming up is, hold on. I had it for just a little second and then it like flopped right out of my brain. What is it? It's about our actual clothes and those 17 clothes that we actually wear. And let's go ahead and invite God's divine light to shine down on us, containing information and clarity on which items of clothes we do actually need, or like which ones should we keep around and which ones is it okay to say goodbye to? What if it was okay to say goodbye to some clothing so that we just had less to keep track of? Um, so I have 5 kids, we have 12 plates. We have 12 big plates and 12 little plates, and that's our plates. And so if we eat, you know, a whole meal, like there's not enough plates for everybody to have a big plate at every meal every day, or even 2 meals a day, unless we do the dishes. And so we have to stay on top of the dishes, and I just do a ton of dishes. And as soon as the dishwasher is empty, I empty it. So as soon as the dishwasher is done doing the dishes, I empty it. And then I immediately start to reload it, because if I don't, then we don't have enough stuff for everybody to eat. And my daughter just yesterday said, well, why don't we just buy more plates? And I said, well, we still have to do the same amount of dishes. If we just buy more plates, then what is going to happen is we're going to put it off so much longer before we wash, before we do the dishes, that it's gonna just make our kitchen so much messier than it already is, like we gotta stay on top of this. And to me, the easiest way to stay on top of it is that we have a very limited number of plates and silverware and everything, so that um we don't really have a choice. Our choice is do the dishes after every meal, or you have no dishes. And guess what? The dishes get done because everybody wants to eat on a dish. um and I bring it up because uh maybe for some of us, doing the laundry will be kind of the same, where it will just be so much more manageable if we can go through our closets and do a good little purge and clear out some stuff that doesn't belong there. So let's just breathe in that divine light of clarity. Let's breathe in a divine light of permission, that we can easily um, receive divine permission to release our clothes to the next stage of its journey. The stuff that doesn't fit, the stuff that we don't like, the stuff we bought and thought we would like it, and then we like didn't like it, and now it's too late to return and sells its tags on, and we're like, oh man, maybe I should resell it, maybe I could get money out of it. Well, maybe you can't. Maybe it's time to go donate it to a nursing home. And side note on that, I read this thing about how nursing homes, a lot of times the people that live in them don't have enough clothes, and they don't get a lot of clothing donations. So instead of donating to like Goodwill or something, you might consider calling up a nursing home and seeing if they would be interested in accepting a donation of clothing from you. But what if we could just easily give ourselves permission? What if we felt God's divine permission and support to go through that stuff and just let it go? What if we could just let some of that stuff go? And what if it was easy instead of traumatic? And what if we could look at our stuff and just forgive ourselves? Tap it in. I forgive myself for buying clothes that I don't like. I forgive myself for keeping my closet stocked full of things that I don't wear. I allow myself to release the things that I don't wear onto the next stage of its adventure. Okay, all of our clothes um, have lives of their own too. I mean, like, they're not alive, right? But a little bit they are. I'm thinking of like Pocahontas. Every tree and rock and tree and spirit has a voice, has a spirit, has a name. I don't know that that's literally true, that all of our individual clothes are that they all have their own names and spirits or something like that. I don't believe that. But when we personify them a little bit and say, you know what, these are items that have an important purpose to fulfill as part of their existence, and they are often made of like living things or things that were previously alive. These are made out of the substance of the earth, and these items are on their own adventure, and they live part of their lives with us, and eventually they won't anymore. Eventually things happen in all of our lives, including the ending of our lives, where our items have to move on and go and belong to somebody else. And that's okay. And it's part of the life cycle of items. And what if we can release some of the clothes that we don't love and we don't use to the next stage of their journeys, where they can be loved and used? And what if it was easy and a delight? And what if it took way less time than you ever imagined that it would take? What if it shocked you how easy and how pleasant it was and how happy it made the people that you donated to. What if it was just so easy and pleasant? One more side note before we call it a day. Um, just this morning, so my daughters, I have three daughters, and one needs her own room, and then the other two share a room, and their room is a horrid disaster. But not anymore, because today I went through and I purged many items that had to go. And some of these are probably kind of loved, but at this point, there's just so much like little, we don't get Happy Meals, but you know what I'm talking about, like little Happy Meal style toys that are just like flopping around, making a mess. Nobody plays with them. They're just rolling around on there. And I just thought, why am I keeping all these little plastic fragments in my house so that I can kick them around and step on them in the dark, and they can make everything ugly, and like, why? The kids aren't even playing with them. And so today I took them to the next stage of their life journey, which is very exciting for me. No one has noticed yet. Actually, they've been overjoyed that their room feels emptier and cleaner, and they are just happy. They're just happy to play in there now that it's emptier. And my kids are 6 and 3, and so I don't recommend doing this to like your 14-year-old or something like that. But the point is that I thought that it was going to take me hours and hours to do this. It took me 1 hour. Okay. So, that's just to say, if you have a huge mess ahead of you that feels like it's going to take you forever to sort through, I invite you to consider the possibility that it's going to be so much faster than you imagine. I invite you to consider the possibility that if you set a timer for 15 minutes, and look, you can listen to one of my videos while you do it, and then you're multitasking, but 15 minutes, spend 15 minutes with whatever the pile is that you need to clean up, and allow your objects to move on to their next stage of their adventure. Um, you might be totally shocked at how way easier it is than you think it is. Okay, I'm praying blessings on your laundry right in this moment. Heavenly Father, please bless all of us in our laundry adventures. Thank you for the clothes that we have, and the clothes that our families have, and thank you for the honor that we have of taking care of these things and exercising our powers of stewardship. Please bless all of us with new, fresh perspectives on the power of keeping our laundry, our garments, our physical items of clothing clean and in good condition. Thank you for new divine perspectives on the clothes that we wear and how we present ourselves. And thank you for new divine perspectives on the laundry cycle and how we can stay on top of it for each of our individual circumstances. Please bless all of us with new courage and new peace about the laundry cycle. And thank you so much for everything that you do for us, in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay. Have a good day, guys.